Hi, today's video is all about my September sewing mix, and if that's something you're interested in, please stay tuned. Hi lovely people, welcome to It Is Josie. Josie here. I'm glad to have you back again. Welcome. If you're new to my channel, you're welcome. Feel at home. On this channel I record sewing related content ranging from sewing plans, tutorials, sew alongs, fabric hauls, and if that's something you're interested in, you could join the family by subscribing, and while at it, don't forget to press the bell icon so YouTube gets to notify you whenever I upload a new video. And for my old subscribers, thank you for staying around, for tagging along, for watching my videos, and for leaving those wonderful comments and the encouragement that my videos actually make sense and are loved. Thank you very much for sticking around. And today's video, I'm going to share with you my sewing mix for the month of September, and I also have a giveaway which I'm going to announce at the end of the video, so stick around so you hear about the giveaway. And if you didn't watch my sewing plans video, that's if you're interested in knowing what I was planning to make and what I made, more or less like auditing whether I was able to sew up most of them. I'll add the link or a card up here. And when I showed it, a few people commented that I had so many plans and many things to make. So I managed to sew up most of the items. I'm not sure how many I left out, but if anything, I might have left out just 2 items from the list. And if anything, I also added 2 items. I had 2 pattern tests that I took part in, and one was actually one of the toughest, but and also a learning curve at it. With no further ado, I would like to take you through all I was able to sew up in the month of September. Maybe before I go ahead, I remember the second week of September, was it the second week or third week of September? I had to sew up 6 items within a week. That burnt me out. The next week I didn't sew much, and I sewed a few items later. I was actually amazed by how much I've been able to sew up this month. It has been a productive one, and I think mostly because the kids went back to school, so I had more time to myself. So let me show you what I was able to make. This is the Dia and Do my Sorties dress, and by their patterns I think I'm supposed to be size 36 at the bust, size 38 at the waist, and size 38 at the hips. But it so happened that this dress is meant to be, it has a lot of ease within. It's meant to be quite loose shaped around the waistline and also around the hips. However, I know that doesn't flatter me, those shapes don't flatter me. So instead, because I looked at the finished measurements, I could tell that it had a lot of allowance, a lot of give around the waistline. So I decided to stick to size 36, if I should confirm here. Did I do that? Yeah. I decided to meet the size 38, so I decided to go for size 36 at the waist instead of 38, and the same for the hips. I went for size 36 throughout to cater, to try and reduce the amount of ease within, but still after sewing it up I saw it was still loose, so I created some ties. The ties don't come with a pattern, so I just adopted them to just help it fit better. She's being modeled by my assistant Letitia. Letitia is a custom-made dress form by Bootstrap Patterns, who is drafted to my body measurements. If you've been on my channel long enough, you've seen her in my pictures quite often. And for this particular dress, I sewed it out of a Dashwood. This is Dashwood Studio cotton fabric, which was gifted to me by the Sea Margate. I will add the link to this fabric if you're interested in it. It's actually gorgeous fabric. It's quite medium weight, and it's a pleasure to sew up, and it shouts out autumn because of the colors. I like actually the different colors within, and it was a beautiful one to sew up, and I believe this is a dress I'm going to wear throughout the winter months with tights underneath, probably a polo neck underneath also because it's getting cold right now. And it came together pretty well. I didn't make any alterations apart from adding ties. And also one other thing about this dress, when I ordered for the pattern, for the fabric, I got just 2 meters, and with this fabric it has 45 inches width, so it's a smaller width fabric. I had to squeeze all the pieces onto that one piece to be able to come out with the dress. And however, I didn't have enough, so I just ended up using some lining fabric, some plain fabric for the pockets. However, one side got fabric, so I made sure that the fabric that could easily peep out was made out of the fabric, and I used the plain one, which equally actually matched. I gave myself a pat on the back for being able to squeeze out this dress out of 2 meters of fabric, and these 2 meters were narrow width because the pattern recommends 2.5 inches of the 54-inch wide fabric. So with my dress, it was actually a miracle that I was able to squeeze it out, and it has gotten already enough wears, and I'm not about to stop. Let me show you my other makes from the month of September. My other make is this dress, and this was a pattern test for my daughter. I've had a few selfless makes. I'm getting better and better at it, that I tend to now to sew for more people in my family as opposed to myself. If you've been following on Instagram, you might have noticed that By Hand London has launched 3 little girls dress. That's little versions of the adults ladies dresses. They've launched the little Hannah, the little Anna, and the little Flora. Yes, and they were all pattern tested around the same time and launched on the same day. So I had the pleasure of testing the By Hand London little Anna dress for my princess, and I actually have the adults version, which I've been meaning to make. So I made her version out of an African wax print fabric, one of those precious fabrics I've been holding on to. I tried to pattern match and get like the big bold prints in the same spot, but it was a nightmare to do because the skirt comes in panels. The front piece has a panel here, a panel in the middle, and a panel on the side, and the same happens to the back pieces. So it was almost impossible to match any patterns. If I tried to, I would probably have used up a lot of fabric on just a little girl's dress, because I think I got around to doing that because I wanted to get them into the right shapes. And I'm hoping I have enough to sew up my version, and probably whenever I sew up one, we shall have a mommy and me matching matching outfits, because I already have the By Hand London Anna dress, and this is what I made up for my daughter. She actually loves it. This particular one was 3/4, but the pattern has been readjusted to cater for it to be made knee length and probably max, because she was like, oh mommy, this is finally at my toes. I think she wants a maxi dress, so very soon I'll be making one for her. And I was meant to have made size 6 for her, but she's growing quite bigger. Size 6 I think would have been only her bust, so I decided to go down size 7. And I'm going to attach pictures of most of the items I'm showing you around here, so you'll be able to see what I'm showing you. And then my other make, and I've become a stud making this, I could say. If you've watched my previous video, I had a sew along of the Hudson pants, the ladies Hudson pants. I'll add a card up here, and I also showed you how I got along to fitting the pants. And I could say the Hudson pants has turned out to be my tried and tested pattern. I've sewed up the mini version for my kids. I should count now, I've sewed up 6 versions for my 2 kids, and then I sewed up one for the first time for myself, and right now my husband is also asking for one, so very soon I'll be sewing up the men's version. I'll have to buy the pattern and then get fabric, because they're the best thing you can live in, and more so now that the weather is getting cold and with people now working from home, which better way to work from home but to wear comfortable clothes. So these are the versions I managed to make. Actually, this time around I made 4 for my kids, and I showed you this fabric in my previous in the plans video, and this was a cotton French terry fabric that I'd bought I think 2 meters of it, and I had wanted to make jogger bottoms for my daughter and my son, and here we go. And the main reason why I had to make them in this navy blue, they wear either black or navy blue for their PE, and in the past they've always carried their PE kits to school, but now with the current situation they want to avoid many things getting carried into school, so they go dressed up in their PE costume, their PE kits. However, my son we never found pants that fitted him right and better, because it's quite on the skinnier side, so they are always big and baggy, and they don't look nice at all. And if your mommy can sew something better, why not? So I got the 2 meters. I thought I would be able to get out just one pair per child, but I happened to squeeze out 3 pairs. And for my son I made size 8. a size 9. However, with these patterns it's either 8 or 10, and 10 would have been quite baggy on him, so I cut out size 8, which I lengthened by about 3 inches and I managed to do that, so I got the perfect fit for him. And then for my daughter, remember I had shared the toile I had made for her earlier on. For her, I stuck to size 6. She's 6.5. However, I realized it came off a bit short in the back because she has a little bum, so I had to. I lengthened it by 1 inch and I managed to get the best fitting pants for her. However, I still lengthened her pants by 2 inches so they have the best fitting. I tried to leave in also a little room for growth. Hopefully it takes me more than just a few months so they can wear them for a year or plus. And so I made 3 pairs of this, and I could say I think I whipped up, after cutting them up, I sewed them up I think in a day, in an evening or in a day. They are such quick makes. If you watch that video of mine, you would tell that they come together pretty fast. And yeah, I made 3 pairs for the kids. I just carried one to show you. Then I'd also bought this fabric a while back from myfabrics.co.uk, and this is a French terry with tracks and diggers. I thought it was a beautiful kids boys pattern print, and I got this for my son, and the plans were to make for him a pair of Hudson pants, and yes, I added onto his collection. This hadn't been in my plans to make this month, but it so happened that if you're already cutting out the same pattern, you could as well cut out another, and I used I think the same color of thread, maybe, so it made sense to sew up everything at a go. And these are well loved pants. However, I omitted the drawstring on all their pairs. However, I added eyelets to this. Should I decide to add probably a band or shoelaces are always better to use with these eyelets, so I left it open. So should I decide to add a drawstring, I could always sew some channeling on it, so at least it's not permanent, that I can't adjust anything later. And my son has gotten loads of wear from this. And yes, I also sewed up another pair for myself. Yep, I sewed up this pair. If you watched the previous video, you saw this. So I made myself a ladies Hudson pants, and I made a size, bear with me, and I sewed up a size 4 in mine because I went with the with the hips measurement, and that wasn't it. I made up top for myself. So I made up a loungewear set stroke PJ set. I've not used them as PJs. I've enjoyed wearing them around the house the whole day. And the very first, this fabric was gifted to me by Minerva, and remember when I got it, I was planning to sew up the Moneta dress, but I evaluated and I knew, being the bright print it is, I think it would be overboard as a dress, and I realized it would never get a lot of wear. So I had 2 meters of it, and I tried to squeeze out 2 pieces of items, a t-shirt and this, and I actually managed to have some leftover wear cutter that I used to cut out a pair of undies, which I've not yet sewed up because I don't have the matching elastic. But imagine 2 meters of fabric giving me a pair of loungewear, a t-shirt and undies. And for the top, I went for the itch to stitch ideally wild t-shirt pattern. So it fits. And actually this particular pattern unfortunately has been discontinued. Not that it's had any issues, but it's one of the first, I think, neat PDF patterns I ever bought when I started sewing again about 3 years ago. And I've made t-shirts. I think this is the 3rd one I'm making from that pattern, and that pattern came with a t-shirt and dress pattern. It was discontinued because she was trying to increase the size ranges on all her patterns, and I think there are 3 patterns that she retired because she couldn't easily adjust without having to redraft them, and she realized it wasn't worth it having to redraft them and redraft everything, so she decided to retire the patterns. And I'm glad that I had bought this one in the past, because I think I bought it when I started sewing and I was excited the pattern came up. So it's my go-to t-shirt pattern, and it's drafted to have long sleeve, short sleeve. So with this, if you wanted to recreate this, you can use any t-shirt pattern you have. But I didn't have enough fabric to go for long sleeves, so I decided to go for 3/4. But I think with 3/4, the middle ground that you can wear in the summer, because UK summers are not the warmest, you can wear in the summers and also in the winter months. And actually what happened, the Friday I made this pattern, this set, I wore this set. I had to go pick up my kids from school in the afternoon. I just took off the bottoms, wore jeans, stayed in the same t-shirt, wear a coat, and I was out to go. So these are pieces that I can wear separately and wear together, and also you're confident to answer the door in them. They don't look like PJs because they still look cute as loungewear. So it's a good mix of having actually making functional items that you get to wear. And then I think this is my final make. I thought I'd made more than this, but yeah, my final make were these pants. And this is a Love Notions pattern which was recently released, and this is the Glissando pattern. It comes with trousers, shorts, and a skirt. I will try to attach a lines drawing here. And I pattern tested the pants version, and I'd wanted to pattern test the skirt version because it's what is easiest, and anyone would want to test something easier. However, I ended up testing the pants pattern, and these are cropped pants which are quite high-waisted, and should I say it was such a labor of love. You underestimate what it entails fitting woven pants, but actually it was a learning curve. It's a pattern that took the longest to test because I had to sew up 3 twirls to get the fit right, because we all know different people have different body shapes. You can't just put down a pattern because it didn't fit you. The thing is that you have to embrace it, that we are all different. Although patterns are drafted for a standard size, no one is really standard. If you look at a mannequin, it won't fit you how much your around the body measurements are the same. So at the end of the day, you have to make some changes here and there. So I made 3 twirls until I watched so many videos about fitting pants, and I could say I've learned a lot from the process, because I had to raise the back seam, back crotch length to cater for my back, and also on top of that, although I had to lengthen the back crotch, I had to also do a sway back adjustment and get it fitting right, and making a few adjustments here and there. In the end, I came out with actually good wearable pants, and this I sewed up out of a lightweight denim. It's actually lightweight dress weight, and I decided not to go with a thick denim because I think that would have been harder to fit. Probably it wouldn't. I'm going to attach pictures of all the makes I'm showing you. And I was so glad that I went along with testing this pattern and so going through all the effort to get it to fit, because I've been telling myself that I need to sew up a pair of jeans this year, but I think these pants have ushered me into that. I've learned a lot about fitting pants, woven pants onto myself, and the necessary adjustments I need to make and how to go about with that. However, I also intend to sew up the skirt version because I think the skirt is your go-to all year round pattern. It's an A-line. I don't think it's even an A-line. It's more like it's in between a straight skirt and an A-line, which can be worn in the winter months, definitely with tights and boots. It would be really nice in that. And I've got some strong denim, heavyweight denim I intend to use for that. And I think that's all with all I was able to sew up in the month of September. I could say I made 9 items. I'm giving myself a pat on the back because I think that was revolutionary. And I actually got around to also making some face coverings. Anyone would think that my family has had a collection of face coverings. No, we each had just one for the longest time, I think 2 months, for the whole 2 months, because they are not an exciting thing to sew up. Who else is like me? So I got around to sewing up. Unfortunately, I don't have any to show you, but I made extras for the family, so they are glad that I've done much more than that. So with no further ado, I would like to let you know about the giveaway. Love Notions is holding a 40% site-wide sale. That's a birthday sale. And apart from all patterns are on sale apart from the Glissando, because it's a new pattern of theirs. This is exempted from the sale, but all the other patterns are on sale. And if you're here, you know that I'm an ambassador of Love Notions patterns. So I'll be giving away 1 pattern to a lucky winner on this channel. All you have to do to enter, definitely subscribe to the channel, because that's the only way you I can give back to people who subscribe to my channel, who follow me on this journey. And also just leave a comment on this video. It could be about my makes this month, or it could just be about a Love Notions pattern you're interested in. And the Love Notions sale is running from Monday the 5th of October, and I'm hoping this video will go up on that day. That's 5th October, Monday 2020, and it's running up to Friday, and Friday will be 9th of October. I'm going to attach the link to the Love Notions site at the bottom. That's an affiliate link. That only means that should you purchase any patterns using my affiliate link below, I earn a little commission which goes to supporting this channel. However, that also comes at no extra cost to you. Still, you're not under obligation to use it, but I'm also letting you know that they are holding the sale. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if you're not still. Until next time, bye.